Hey viewers, you're watching the Savera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. Israel announced the opening of a new evacuation route out of Gaza City, providing civilians a 48-hour window to flee as the military plans to intensify operations to root out Hamas fighters. The newly accessible Salahudin Road, designated by Israel as a safe corridor, represents the latest effort to urge civilians to leave the war-torn region. Leaflets dropped over Gaza instructed residents to evacuate by Friday noon, following yellow-marked routes and adhering to instructions from Israel forces, with a warning to move only through designated streets, heading south immediately. The Israel military expects around 100,000 civilians to remain in Gaza City despite the evacuation orders, warning that the coming months of urban combat will be prolonged and intense unless a ceasefire is reached. However, many civilians remain reluctant to leave due to the dangers along the evacuation routes, dire conditions in the southern areas, a lack of food, and fears of permanent displacement. Ahmed, a school teacher from Savera neighborhood, expressed his reluctance to leave, questioning if there would be any guarantee to return or if the war would ever end, saying he would rather die in his home. Notably, on Wednesday alone, at least 30 Palestinians were killed in fresh Israel airstrikes, with 19 fatalities reported in Gaza City, according to local health authorities. A day after launching a ground operation to seize control of Gaza's main urban hub, Israel forces have advanced cautiously into the city's western and central zones. Military officials stated that operations are focused on encouraging civilians to move south, with fighting expected to intensify over the next month or two. The operation to capture Gaza City could take months and might be paused only if a ceasefire is reached with Hamas. The prospects of a ceasefire appear increasingly remote, especially after Israel attacked Hamas political leaders in Doha last week, angering Qatar, a key co-mediator in ceasefire talks. Visiting Doha on Tuesday, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned of a very short window of time remaining to reach a truce before Israel's full-scale campaign in Gaza becomes irreversible. Despite global criticism, including from the United States, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reaffirmed that Israel will target Hamas leaders anywhere. The United Nations and multiple humanitarian organizations have condemned the evacuation orders, labeling them as forcible population transfers and potentially violations of international law. A recent UN Commission of Inquiry concluded that Israel's action in Gaza amount to genocide, a claim strongly rejected by Israel as scandalous and fake. Meanwhile, the humanitarian situation continues to deteriorate, with displaced Palestinians facing hunger and overcrowded conditions in the south. Thousands of people shelter in Gaza City despite the devastation, with much of the city destroyed earlier in the conflict, but later repopulated by around 1 million Palestinians living amid the ruins. Israel forces have control of Gaza City's eastern suburbs and continue pounding southeastern, northern and northwestern coastal areas, pressing tanks towards the city's center and western zones. Palestinian officials reported that no place within Gaza is safe, including the southern areas designated as humanitarian zones. An airstrike on Tuesday killed 5 people fleeing Gaza City for the south, and another airstrike on Wednesday destroyed a high-rise building in the Nuseirat refugee camp, causing panic among nearby residents. Notably, since August 10, when Netanyahu announced Israel's intention to take full control of Gaza by force, more than 1,600 residential buildings have been destroyed or damaged, along with 13,000 tents sheltering displaced people. Israel estimates suggest that 40% of the people present in Gaza City at the start of the offensive have left, with approximately 1,90,000 heading south and 3,50,000 relocating to central and western parts of the city. The conflict's origins trace back to the Hamas attack on Israel in October 2023, which killed about 1,200 Israelis and resulted in 251 hostages taken, according to Israel figures. The ongoing Israel military assault against Hamas has so far resulted in over 64,000 Palestinian deaths, according to Gaza's health ministry, with the situation showing little sign of abating. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.